Our next historic speech is by Muadi Mukenge, the Regional Director for Sub-Saharan Africa at the Global Fund for Women, an organization which advocates for women's human rights and provides grant funding to women's groups around the world. Mukenge was born in the Democratic Republic of the Congo in the 1960s and has spent much of her life in the United States. A frequent speaker, her opinion piece published in HuffPost Politics in 1998 is called "What the World Must Know About the Congo." In it, she calls upon Western governments to stop sending arms to military groups in the Congo, which enables genocide and other horrific violence against women. Sharing excerpts from Mukenge's piece today is Christine Ingraham. Ms. Ingraham is a Valley resident with long-term ties to Western Massachusetts. She has worked in a variety of environments, but mostly enjoys libraries and academic settings. She has a diverse range of interests from guitar playing to comedy improv. She currently belongs to Ridiculi, a local improv troupe. She hopes to return to writing her first love and rebuild the fantasy worlds she used to create. Please join me in welcoming Christine Ingraham to the microphone, speaking as Muadi Mukenge.
As I watched President-elect Barack Obama deliver his victory speech and lay out his philosophy of leadership, I immediately thought of what is possible around the world. It is my hope that the "Yes We Can" motto that inspired millions of Americans will spread to the Congo and its neighboring countries to stop the atrocities fueled by inhumane leadership and sales of arms by Western countries. Fresh from a 2-week visit to the Democratic Republic of Congo, I watch on television the escalation of war, one that has already claimed 5 million lives since 1998. There is deep despair, especially among women and girls who have already suffered unspeakable violence. I am Congolese and have lived in the United States for most of my life. As the head of the Africa program at the Global Fund for Women, I help support women's groups in Africa working on development and in advancing human rights. But Congo's human rights have been violated for too long, and the weak international response makes us wonder whether our lives matter. Congo's violence will end when the countries rushing to send humanitarian aid after millions of innocent lives have been massacred stop sending and selling weapons to rebel movements in the Congo. Congo's violence will end when African leaders, elected or imposed, stop using these weapons on innocent civilians. Congo's violence will end when the international community refuses to roll out the red carpet to a rebel movement that claims to protect the Tutsi minority in Congo. It is not coincidental that rebel forces armed with sophisticated weapons are in regions where minerals are most abundant. Sadly, profits from armed conflict and the exploitation of natural resources in the Congo are more alluring than any human rights agenda. Meanwhile, the majority of 66 million Congolese don't have access to food, sanitation, education, transportation, sustainable livelihoods, or justice. When will we see bold action to protect Congolese people, especially women? I have visited diamond mines and witnessed the slave-like working conditions and the context under which sexual abuse takes place. On the drive, we pass lines of people making a long trek to try their luck, to dig for diamonds by hand. Women do most of the digging, then the sifting is left to the men, to find the nuggets to sell. The girls selling food there make about 20 cents a day, and sexual exploitation and trafficking of minors is rampant. There are terms to refer to girls aged 6 to 8 or 9 to 15. You can make an order just as easily as you can at McDonald's. When I think of the women and girls who told us their horrifying experiences of sexual torture, I keep thinking of the modern weapons that make this torture possible, and the origins of these weapons. They are not made in Congo. I am often asked, what can be done to help the Congo? I let them know about the efforts undertaken by women's rights NGOs that are trying to rebuild their country. But these efforts will remain an uphill task as long as Western governments send arms deliveries to the rebel movements and the governments that support them. No change will be made when there's no political will to respect past peace talks and accords. The Congolese people are waiting for a time when we will see action instead of empty proclamations. We know that 5 million deaths constitute a genocide. We are waiting for the rest of the world to agree and act with us.